Now, a little over a month ago, we wrote to everyone who's on our database. If you didn't get that email, it means we may not have your details, so perhaps go to Connect and update them. But we wrote to the whole church just to outline our thoughts on when we might begin to return on Sundays in some form. And we said that while we will remain online long term, we anticipate reopening Sunday services in the warehouse at some point in the autumn, providing the current trajectory of recovery continues. And since sending that email, the senior leadership team and others have spent considerable time looking at this, discussing this in more detail. And many of you filled in the Insights survey. Thank you to all of you who did that. And evidently some of you are very keen to gather again physically. And so we are looking at making that possible. We wanted to let you know that we are planning towards a date now. Our first physical Sunday gathering being on the 4th of October. That's in 7 weeks' time. Probably in the evening. We may do more services, but we're anticipating we might just start with the one. And we're planning towards that date, but we have to hold it lightly because we just don't know what will happen with easements, restrictions, or with the infection rate and so on in Nottingham. So the service, when we do it, will feel very different. We will, of course, be complying with government guidelines at the time. So we're assuming, if they are as they are now, that numbers will be very restricted, will be socially distanced, wearing masks. We have been asked to discourage socialising with others in the service, and there will be no singing from the congregation. So it won't be like returning like to what it was before March. But even with the restrictions, we believe it will be a meaningful experience of gathering physically to worship. And we especially want to do this for those who have found the isolation of lockdown just really difficult and are keen and looking forward to that time of gathering. So the reality is that most of you will continue to access our services online, and initially a relatively small proportion of the church will actually come back to the warehouse. So there are still a lot of details to be worked on between now and then, but we just wanted to give you that update, and we will give you future updates in the coming weeks.